right now, and we'll also be streaming to Startup Junkie's Facebook, and streaming now. Make sure that goes through. All right, we're all set. Again, thank you for joining us. My name is Caleb Talley. I'm the Director of Marketing and Events for Startup Junkie Foundation. Welcome to our, I guess, first ever all virtual startup culture in the classroom. I know some of you may not be from Northwest Arkansas region and may not be just 100% familiar with startup culture in the classroom as an event. So we'll kind of give you the rundown of that here in just a moment and introduce you to everyone who's involved in this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you now. All right, can everybody see that? Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome, like I said, to Startup Culture in the Classroom. Thank you again for participating in this, all of you who are here watching with us, whether you're on the Zoom or you're watching on Facebook Live, or maybe even you're watching this later on YouTube in our recorded version. I want to thank everyone who's involved in putting this together. Startup Culture in the Classroom is a group effort. I want to take the opportunity to let everybody involved introduce themselves to our attendees, starting with Rita with the Bessie B. Moore Center for Economic Education. Rita, I'll turn it over to you.
So welcome, educators and entrepreneurs. We're so happy to have you here. We've been doing this, this may be the 6th year, at least 5 years that we've been doing this. We've wanted to do it virtually, but since we were really going to businesses and visiting, that wasn't possible. So COVID forced us to do it virtually. Startup Junkie had some great videos with entrepreneurs. So we're really happy to spread out and reach all across the state. So we have resources and stuff for you as teachers to help teach about entrepreneurship. But I think you're going to enjoy these videos, and you can take them and save them or use them with your students. So we're hopeful that this is really helpful in teaching entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial way of thinking all around the state. Thank you all for being here.
And Marcia with Economics Arkansas.
Good afternoon. I see a lot of familiar faces. Economics Arkansas is always pleased to participate in initiatives that promote entrepreneurship education, and this is the month for Global Entrepreneurship Month, so no better way to spend our afternoon. For those of you who are educators, please put your name in the chat box as a sign-in. At the very end, you're going to get to select a free book selection, and I'll put the link in. And it's either the story of an entrepreneur or written by someone related to entrepreneurship from our state, like Erica Swallow, or just a how-to guide for those of you who are interested in knowing more about entrepreneurship. Thank you all for letting us be involved.
Thank you, Marcia. And we have Lucy with Junior Achievement of Arkansas.
Hey guys, I'm really happy to be here today. Super excited because Junior Achievement is involved in entrepreneurship, so this is one of our core values as well. So we're super happy to partner with Startup Junkie on this. If you don't know about Junior Achievement of Arkansas, our 3 core values are bringing K through 12 programs that surround financial literacy, work readiness, and entrepreneurship. So we're really excited to have the teachers on the line because you guys are what makes us possible along with our volunteers. So we're just super thankful to be a part of this. And if you want any information, just reach out to me.
Thank you, Lucy. And for those of you who are not familiar with Startup Junkie, we are a mission-driven organization based here in Northwest Arkansas, and we are, oh, sorry, my Siri's trying to talk to me. We exist to empower innovators and entrepreneurs, and we do that mainly in 2 ways, one of which is through no-cost one-on-one consulting for entrepreneurs. So whether you have an idea written on the back of a napkin or a operating startup or small business with $25 million in revenue, we're here to consult with you, help you, connect you to resources, and help inspire and help you in any way possible. And the other facet in which we do that, empower entrepreneurs, is through events. We do as many as 200 events a year, including this one here. Have 2 or 3 events, just about every week, where we provide educational information and workshops for entrepreneurs and those who are interested in entrepreneurship. And I accidentally went ahead to the agenda slide. So I'll just give you a quick rundown. The videos we're going to watch today were videos we put together back in September as a part of our Startup Week. So Startup Junkie hosts an annual event called Startup Crawl, where we showcase area entrepreneurs and small businesses in our community. We couldn't do that in the normal way this year, obviously, because of COVID. So what we did is we went out and we produced a ton of videos of local entrepreneurs, gave them the opportunity to tell their story, promote entrepreneurship, and share that with the rest of our region and the rest of our state. And so we were sitting on these awesome videos. So we thought, why not share them with y'all? So what we'll do after this event is over, either tonight or tomorrow, I will send everyone who signed up a follow-up email that will include the video link recording from this event, as well as the links to all of these videos that we'll watch today, and some other information that will be included in that. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, and before I start the videos, I will also mention that we have some of our entrepreneurs that are featured in these videos here with us on this call that will take your questions at the end. And then that will be followed by some trivia that Rita has put together based on the videos that we'll watch. And then that trivia, the winner of the trivia contest, will get a Amazon gift card. So let's go, starting with 37 North Expeditions. Let me make sure I've optimized screen share for audio. All right.
Hi, I'm Danny Collins. I'm the founder of 37 North Expeditions. 37 North is a full-service guiding company here in Northwest Arkansas. We do everything from guided hiking experiences, horseback riding experiences, lots of biking, full day, half day. Really what we're about is just to make it very simple and convenient for you to get outside and see our beautiful backyard. And we have opportunities for all skill levels and all interests in our great outdoors. So my story really is about, is an entrepreneur story that has to do with living in a lot of places and having a lot of different experiences. 37 North is really focused on trying to combat the mental health issues and also be a really amazing alternative form of socialization that really uses the outdoors as ways to meet other like-minded people. And we have the best job in the world. We're helping people see more of the outdoors and having a fun time in our beautiful backyard. Thank you so much, and let's get outside and explore the Ozarks.
All right, that was 37 North Expeditions. Next, we have Lives and Designs.
Hi, my name is Andrew Gibbs Dabney, and I'm the founder of Lives and Designs. Lives is an outdoor apparel company based in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we concentrate on creating long-lasting, durable, and sustainable outdoor apparel by focusing on using environmentally friendly materials, designing for the long haul, and standing behind our products until their end of life. We've done 2 Kickstarters in the last 2 years for our Flex Canvas pants, which are our flagship product. These pants have actually been named by Gear Junkie as their favorite pants of 2020. We were in Outside Magazine as in the Summer Buyer's Guide this year, and we've also been featured in Men's Journal and Forbes for this product. One thing I really love about working in Fayetteville, Arkansas is the small but really robust entrepreneurial support system for a market of our size. There's a great community of people that are building businesses and a lot of great support from the top down that'll help businesses just get off the ground, but also to scale and help with connections as you grow.
Awesome. And next we have Buddy Pegs.
Hey, I'm Scott Fitzgerald, founder of Buddy Pegs, and I am so excited to tell you about our brand new family bicycle headquarters right here on the border between Bentonville, Arkansas and Bella Vista, Arkansas. I'm positioned right now right next to the famous Blue Hole swimming hole right at the Wishing Springs Greenway, and I really want to take you inside and tell you why we believe the bicycle is a critical piece of childhood today. I'm so excited to welcome you into the Buddy Pegs Family Ride headquarters that we are in progress building out right now in Bentonville, Arkansas. This has been an amazing journey over the last 5 years as we built out this company, first as a children's media company that was intended to inspire families with young children to get outside together on bicycles and experience what we call the power of the bicycle. As we built out that company, we realized over time that parents needed more support than just media products that help inspire their kids to ride. They actually needed some educational experiences to bring it all together. So over the years, we started to develop our Buddy Pegs Learn to Ride curriculum so that we could develop coaching experiences and events that really help families connect to that power of the bicycle. One of the other things that really excites us about this space is we have the opportunity to create the very first kids and family bike shop in Northwest Arkansas. And as we build out this space, our goal is to model something that can be exported to other communities around the country, which is extremely exciting to us. You excited about that?
Heck yeah!
We're so excited to be here in Northwest Arkansas. We traveled the country for 8 months visiting all these different communities, all the great cycling communities around the country. And we realized ultimately the best place for us to be was in Northwest Arkansas because this is turning into the epicenter of family cycling across the country. And when I think about that, it's super fun because there's so much momentum and positive energy around it, and there's so much opportunity. And those two things are just critical to entrepreneurship and starting a company and taking it to the next level. If it's not fun and you don't have positive energy and passion that's being poured in from the community, it's really hard to slog through the early stages of building a business and building a brand. But because the support here is so robust, everybody is so fun and welcoming and engaging, it just gives us the tailwind that we needed. We are really excited to be a part of this community, the business and entrepreneur community, and the community as a whole. Right now, we're in the middle of building out this space. We're only a few weeks into it. By early September, we should be all done, ready to go, and ready to welcome you into the space. And we can't wait to see you down here.
Come visit Buddy Pegs!
All right, and next. We have I Am Northwest Arkansas.
So to give you an idea of why I meet people, I was working here. An idea of why I created I Am Northwest Arkansas. My focus was originally just to meet people. I was working here for a management consulting firm that's based in Fayetteville, and that's why I moved here with my family in 2014. And I took that time to basically get to know this area. And honestly, I created this podcast because it was the podcast that I wish I had had when I was moving here, to learn more about Northwest Arkansas, to learn more about what makes it so special, to learn a little bit about the people that are here, and just to stay informed. And so I Am Northwest Arkansas was born in April of 2019, and we are now up to about at the time of recording this, we're up to 83 episodes, and we aren't looking back. It's an opportunity and a chance for us to exchange ideas with people and to share as much as we can about this area and why, you know, the Ozarks are such a great place to live. Well, I've had the benefit of living all over the world, actually. I lived in Germany. I spent time on the West Coast. I went to school in Washington, D.C. I spent time up in Boston. Don't hold that against me. But the bottom line was, in each of those locations, what you find is that there are always going to be gatekeepers that control the access to the people and the information that you need in order to do something. The thing that I really like about Northwest Arkansas is that those gatekeepers here are extremely friendly, and they're the same people that will introduce you to the people that you need to know without any type of agenda or without any type of, hey, whatever I do for you, you got to return the favor. The right people that are here in Northwest Arkansas typically have an open heart and a willingness to give that I haven't really experienced anywhere else in this country. That's why I say that Northwest Arkansas is a very special place to be. We are in the heartland, if you will, the southern heartland of this great nation, and there are a lot of opportunities here. It doesn't matter what kind of entrepreneur you are. I think Northwest Arkansas is a great place to come. I even did a podcast episode where I asked the question, I said, is Northwest Arkansas the next Silicon Valley? Because I was interviewing an individual that is big in the VC arena, and there are so many companies here that are starting off small, but could eventually be big. And while you may not want all the things that come along with a Silicon Valley, increased housing prices and other socioeconomic issues that may impact an area or an environment, I think that because of the way people are here in Northwest Arkansas, it is just a fertile ground and a fertile place for small businesses to spring up and really not just be profitable, but really grow organically in a way where they can get the support that they need, and it could be a wonderful launching pad to, being introduced to the rest of the country. So my encouragement would simply be is to look at those places within our community where certain needs are not being filled, or if you find that you keep going back to the same question over and over again, but there's no one out there that has an answer for it, you need to create the answer for it.
All right, and next we have.
So to give you an
Buffalo Outdoor Center. All right, so I can imagine you see a trend in the videos we just watched. All of the videos that we've highlighted today, entrepreneurs, whether they started their business a year ago or 30 years ago, they're all inspired by the great outdoors, their state in general or their region. And while there's obviously a large focus on Northwest Arkansas, the same things can be said in any of these videos can be said about anywhere else in Arkansas. I think that's something we all have in common, that Arkansas is a great place to start a business. And so without further ado, we're going to meet some of the entrepreneurs that you saw in these videos. Today we have Danny from 37 North Expeditions, Andrew from Lives in Designs, and Austin from Buffalo Outdoor Center, who are here to talk to us today and to field questions. Danny, I'm going to start with Danny, then Andrew, then Austin. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I will just give each of you an opportunity to say a quick hello before we open the floor to questions, starting with Danny. I'll let you say hello to everybody.
Can I say more than just hello?
You absolutely may.
Well, I'm so happy to be a part of this. There's so many good things going on, and it's awesome to be a part of the amazing outdoors and the entrepreneur world here in Northwest Arkansas. And yeah, it's an exciting time, and I think that there's a lot of things that Northwest Arkansas is doing right, beyond just the entrepreneurship side of things, but the focus on the outdoors is and we as an entire community are going to see lots of amazing benefits, both physically and mentally, from that. So very excited to be a part of this, and thanks for having me, and excited to hear more from everybody.
Thank you, Danny. Andrew?
Hey, yeah, very happy to be here. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak and be a part of this. I'll echo what was said just a second ago, in the sense that I'm really happy to see the focus on the outdoors as a strategic focus for the region. It's really nice when you can choose to invest in something that we already have, and we live in the Ozarks and we have this beautiful scenery, and as opposed to ignoring that, we're choosing to make the most that we possibly can. And obviously, as a outdoorsman and someone who runs a company that's fully focused on outdoor recreation, it's definitely good, personally, but I love it, and it's a big part of why we've chosen to stay here. So thank you.
And to add to that, I think it's just fantastic to see that anybody can start a business based on something that you just absolutely enjoy as an outdoorsman. It's inspiring. Austin?
Yeah, absolutely. And to play off of that, I mean, I get to work and play and live in one of the most incredible places in this whole state. And so thank you for having me. I thank you for allowing us to continue to invest in the state, but then also this region for entrepreneurs, and then also just the people who are coming here and the people who live here, and being able to provide a service that draws people in from all over the world to come to this area because they see these unique attributes that we have. So it's all really an awesome environment. It's an awesome opportunity for each and every one of us. So thanks for allowing us to be part of it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, now I'm going to open the floor to everybody who's in attendance here, whether you're in the Zoom right now or you're watching on Facebook Live. You're more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask a question. I would, probably, address who you want to ask the question, or you can drop it in the chat box and we'll ask away. Not everybody all at once.
Can go. So I am just curious, which maybe everyone can answer separately, but obviously COVID has hit every organization in different ways, but I was wondering if you guys could talk individually about how you've had to cope or kind of change your entrepreneurship plan to cope with what that looks like.
Absolutely. My name is Austin. I'm mine to go first. Obviously, being in the recreational and lodging industry, outdoor recreation, it's been a trying year. It's been an interesting experience, and it's one that's ever changing. You can't you can't plan for what's going to happen, and what to expect. And so, for us, we've had to put, protocols in place, change our whole operating plan on, how we operate, change everything we do. And that whole process has to be very fluid. For us, obviously, since reopening, we were closed for a month and a half, and then we reopened in about the middle of May. And since reopening, our numbers have been through the roof, the best numbers we've ever had. And we by far passed, our best year ever early on. And so that has been a blessing, but with that, comes a lot of challenges. And, obviously people are looking to get outdoors, they're looking to, get out and recreate and experience, new things and stay close to home and feel safe and protected. And so there's a lot that goes into play there, from, protecting people in our store and, requiring, certain things, that'll help protect them, but then also helps to protect our staff. Splitting staffing schedules to where we don't have the same team there at the same time. That way, if we get teams that do come in contact or get hit, we're able to pull them out, go through the processes, and then get those employees back in place when the time is right. And so, and then also just the protocols. We've always prided ourselves in cleaning and taking care of our equipment and everything, but the additional protocols that have gone into place just to make sure that every guest has a safe and comfortable feeling whenever they arrive, and they know that they're going to be safe and they don't have to worry about whatever it is. And I mean, we have people all the time who ask what those protocols are. We have them on our website, we have them listed, easy to find, because we want people to understand that their safety and their health is important to us. And so COVID has definitely had an interesting turn for our business, not necessarily in a negative way, but it has had its challenges. And for me, again, we'll make decisions, and it's like I tell my staff or my leadership team is, these decisions are fluid. We may make this, and 5 minutes later something will change. And I'll give you a perfect example. We had a staffing meeting on what reopening was going to look like and the phased approach to reopening lodging. 5 minutes later, I get a call from Secretary Hurst, who is the chair or the of our commission for Arkansas State Parks and Tourism, and we were discussing a meeting that was upcoming. And while we're on that call, she gets a text that says we're moving to phase 2 from the governor. And so literally 5 minutes before, we had a phase 1 plan reopening, and we were already at phase 2. And so things were happening that fast. And so just being able to stay with the times, but then also protect and keep each one, each person and their health at the forefront of what we do. So
definitely. Yeah, I was actually on the Buffalo the weekend before they shut it down, so I felt pretty bad because I was part of that group. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine with what you're doing how that affects when you shut a whole river down. Yeah. So
yeah, and we had made the decision to close the business a couple days before the national park closed, because what had happened was several national parks and all these places were closing, so people were looking for a place to go from all over the country, and so we were just getting flooded.
It was insane.
With people,
I didn't expect it.
From all over.
It's crazy.
And so we had to make that decision that we had to shut down, and within a couple of days the national park closed as well. But
yeah,
it was definitely a trying time. So
yeah, and Austin and I actually went to high school together, but so being Buffalo Outdoor Center was a leader in stepping up and saying like what is like your business was too big for what was happening, and it was causing like stress for the surrounding communities, and Buffalo Outdoor Center stepped up and made the hard call to close down before lots of the other outfitters did, and we're still servicing tourists. And so they had to put their economic health second to the health of the community they lived in. And as a neighboring community, like that was very appreciated. I know that wasn't an easy business call to make, Austin, and we appreciated it.
thank you.
And Allison in the chats asked, what was the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome when you first started your business? Danny or Danny, you want that one?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just to add a little bit of what Austin just said when it comes to COVID, I mean, we shut down pretty much the same timeline too. We didn't run trips at all in end of March, all of April, and most of May. But it was we kind of felt like there was a role for us to play when things started to come back to somewhat the new normal. I guess everybody keeps saying is fulfilling a role for our community to try to give this kind of need and desire to get outside. And we, reassessed our business plan from transportation and those kind of things. And then also the advantage to us is we also did have a really, really good summer. We had some really great numbers. We're a much smaller company than the BOC that doesn't have extreme comparisons, but we also saw a lot of an increase in the tourism, which I think is a really cool thought process to think that post-COVID is people are going to start looking more local, more regionally, and which I think is nothing but an amazing benefit for where we stand, because there's really nothing else beautiful like what we have in our backyard. I mean, all the way to Tennessee, all the way to Colorado, and up north and up south. And so having more people focus on regional outdoor adventures is a benefit for all of us. So one of the biggest obstacles for me, really, there is a lot of outfitters and a lot of different types of companies around here, but truly 37 North was just kind of different in its whole, very much about the experience and the transportation included type of endeavor, not having that kind of brick and mortar. So everything from the very obvious concept of having people get into a 15-passenger van. That's not a normal thing that people just around our area have grown up doing as part of a paid-for experience. And so I think a lot of that came new for us to try to break the barriers, and in a way had to educate on really what it is we're trying to achieve here and what we're trying to offer the community. A big part of what we focus on is kind of combating that concept that the outdoors has always been for a very select group in the Ozarks. I grew up my entire life here, and I think it's very much based on very much easier for certain demographics and white men to explore the outdoors, and that's something we've always taken a stance that we're trying to make it easier for all and break those barriers for all. And also shifting focus on the mental health side of things. And that's something that we really pride ourselves in. The outdoors doesn't have to just be about kind of having feats and accomplishments. It can also just be about relaxation. And with that's a big focus on the mental health. So all that being said, one of our greatest barriers was the education of what it is we're really trying to accomplish and what we're really trying to achieve and what it is we're offering, as well as the education of what a service guided service is in this region. It's not something that's really common around here. So it was fun. And I think once people started to get it, and our return customer basis is proving that it's something that the area is wanting, and just another way to kind of help you find your passion in the outdoors. So, yeah.
And Andrew, I'll give you the opportunity to address both those questions if you'd like. And there's also a question from Jennifer that asked specifically of you, what challenges have you had in finding suppliers for your apparel when you have sustainability in mind?
Cool. Well, I'll try not to spend a ton of time on everyone so I don't speak for the next 20 minutes. But COVID has been on a day-to-day basis, nothing really changed for us, because up until this point, until very recently, we've been primarily direct to consumer. You're looking at my house, my home office in my house. So the work from home thing wasn't a big transition. Oddly enough, we're actually leasing an office space. That's what I was doing right before this, was going to look for office spaces. So we're moving that direction. It was a boon. I mean, I hate to say this, it's been a big tragedy, of course, but for us being positioned online, mostly direct to consumer, that makes a product primarily for outdoor recreation, we saw a substantial sales increase in the months following lockdown because people were going outside and they were looking for stuff that helped facilitate that. The outdoor industry as a whole, especially hard goods, was very was very well positioned to take advantage of that. So what it did affect us for was our wholesale launch. So we had planned to go to major industry trade shows this summer. We already had booth space rented. We're working on merchandising for those trade shows. We're bringing on sales reps for a national launch at some big events this summer. Obviously, those events didn't happen. So we've had to figure out how to adapt and still push our wholesale side of the business forward without those industry trade shows. So we've been moving a lot of things that were going to be in person to digital. So digital landing pages, a lot more online assets for our sales representatives to be able to send via email and give web pages as opposed to booths and tours and physical examples of our product, which has been very well received. Austin's actually one of our retailers down there, BOC, which is really cool. So COVID's been definitely interesting for us, and it's obviously changed everything. We also had a baby on February 17th, not lives in obviously, but my family grew at the exact same time as all this. So there's been some personal learnings and work-life balance, and that also goes along with entrepreneurship. And that's not a question that's been asked, but balancing those kind of things and with your business and making the best of all of it is one of the joys of being an entrepreneur. It's like you have a business baby and a real baby. So on to the obstacles. Probably the biggest one is getting our name out there in a crowded space. So that didn't stop me from starting, but you have to get really creative when you're entering a industry and a space that has incumbents that are as big as North Face and Patagonia and Mountain Hardwear, Mountain Khaki, to try to go in there and compete and say that we have something that is as good or better than what's there, and we deserve some of your attention. So that was an obstacle. The way that we overcame that, or at least tried to, was to really hone in on an idea of what the brand stood for, really hone in on this idea of durability and versatility, and also on doing one thing well. So keeping our messaging extremely tight, using things like Reddit and social media and Instagram Live and ways to let people into the entrepreneurial journey, and also things like Startup Junkie and Startup Crawl, local events, basically just kind of grasping at any ability to get our name out there before we could really get national exposure. And before we could afford it or even really deserved it. So that's hard to do in this space, is just getting your name out there. And sourcing. So when you're looking for suppliers for apparel and you want to do it sustainably, the biggest thing that's going to get in the way, and the biggest thing that got in the way for us, is minimums. To make any kind of apparel, you have to make a lot of it. And so what I mean by that is, say you want to make a jacket or a shirt, you're probably going to need to make at the very minimum 600 to 1,000 to 2,000 of those pieces to get it off the ground. That could be seen as probably one of those challenges you mentioned earlier. The thing about sustainability is when you ask for your materials to be organic or recycled, and you want your construction to be quality and your worker conditions to be high, up to humanitarian standards, everything gets more expensive. Those minimum quantities go up, and then the lead times go longer. So for example, like our main fabric for our pants is a flex canvas, is what we call it. When we went from virgin fabric, which means that it was raw material that was not sustainable, to a sustainable blend, our minimums quadrupled as far as the yardage, what we had to order all at once. Our lead time more than doubled. So the time at which we placed our order to when we'd actually get the fabric in to make our pants, like I said, more than doubled. And that's pretty much the case across all of sustainable apparel production. You can do it cheaper and faster if it's not sustainable for the most part. And that is actually shifting a little bit as the top of the industry and the bigger players transition wholesale to more sustainable production methods and more sustainable materials. It's trickling down to brands like ours, but it's not happening super fast, and we're still kind of paying the price to it. So it is a choice that we've had to make, and an operational hurdle to get over it just makes us be a little bit more prepared, plan a little bit further ahead, and pay a little more. But also, we've kept our prices to the point where we can afford that.
Jamie asked, and this is for anybody who wants it, what entrepreneurs / mentors have you looked up to or have helped you with your journey?
I'll start. So my father-in-law was actually the founder of the Buffalo Outdoor Center in 1976. His name is Mike Mills. And so obviously, he was a mentor to me in the beginning to help kind of get, share a vision, share an idea and get me off the ground. And so, that was, for me, one of the big ones. The other, mentor I would say is obviously, just anybody and everybody who you can connect with or networking with. Networking in this industry is huge. I'm part of a lot of different organizations nationwide where we come together for different events and whatever it is for the outdoor recreational industry. And we network, we learn from each other, we share practices, we share challenges, we share, different ideas and concepts. And so for me, it's not just one person, it's a lot of people that I've been able to look up into or to learn from and to take bits and pieces, from any time I go to a conference or whatever. If I can walk away with one just golden nugget, I feel like it's a success. And so, again, it's not necessarily one person, but, multiple people.
Yeah, I mean, for me too, my father was a very different industry, but my father was an entrepreneur back when he was with us, and he had a lot of I saw a lot of the good and the bad, a lot of bad actually. I remember when I was kind of at a prime age, and but there's just been something that was always intriguing to me about almost the kind of healthy competition and just kind of keeping you on your toes growing up an athlete. It was just kind of, it was a very fun transition and loving what I do and playing a role of every aspect of it. And then to kind of go off what Austin just said, I mean, the networking is just absolutely crucial, and it's really important, but it's also a really fun aspect of we've got so much help from Startup Junkie and another group in Springfield, Missouri, the entrepreneurship factory that's there, has been really critical to our growth. And then just taking every single opportunity you ever could to spread the word, from presenting to places like this or presenting to, I mean, I think I've spoken to just about every Rotaract group you can, and it just helps spread the word and take knowledge. The one thing I know about entrepreneurship is I have no clue what I'm doing, and I'm really okay with understanding that. And I'm only trying to surround myself with a team and guides and learning from them as much as I can learn from neighbors and mentors and different people in the community. So completely being open to having good and bad critiques and feedback is in my mind a complete and total must, and part of the fun of the experience.
For sure. And I'll echo a little bit of that. The Startup Junkie in the Fayetteville entrepreneurial circle has been extremely open and willing to help out and willing to give a platform and an audience to people like me to say, hey, this is the story and this is how we've done it. And then in that case, when you do that, you get opened up to feedback, criticism, helpful mentors, helpful connections, the networking events that are extremely helpful, and all these things that add up to just making you a better entrepreneur over the long term, as long as you stay open-minded to that sort of opportunity. On a national scale, I really looked up to, and still do, to entrepreneurs that have built brands that are meaningful. Yvon Chouinard, obviously at Patagonia, built a brand based on values and still to this day lives those values through the company. That's something that really had a heavy impact on me. Phil Knight, the guy who started Nike, is different, completely different, almost opposite of the way that Yvon Chouinard built Patagonia, but you learned other lessons there. His was about operational success and building a business and a team that actually functioned in a product and a market fit that was just not like, you just saw an opportunity said we need this kind of shoe here in America. And the business sense of that person, of that guy, and his ability to lead a team was second to none. And so those two really in my mind stand out as teaching two different lessons, two different ends of the spectrum. And it's something that I think is really powerful.
We've got a question in the chat for you, Danny. Why 37 North? Where's the name come from? 37 North.
Yeah, so 37 North is the latitude of where we're at. We kind of, when we first started, I grew up just across the border in Missouri, little tiny town in Cassville, Missouri area. And so we took kind of our furthest south our reach that we wanted to go south, and our reach wanted to go north. And what we kind of said our reach was in the Ozarks, and 37 North is kind of right in the middle. So it's the latitude of the Ozarks region that we're in.
I think that same question could go to you, Andrew. Why Livesden? You're muted.
Thank you.
Oh, you're still muted.
You got me? I keep doing the space button thing, so I don't end up being not muted. I was going to say that my tattoo on my arm right here is actually the location of Fayetteville on the world map, kind of artistically rendered. So I got a little bit of that. And so is the front main button on our pants actually features the same. It's going to be hard to see. Features that same design. And no one's found, actually only one person that I know has actually put that together and asked me that before. But there. So there's a little bit of a Northwest Arkansas embedded into that. The name though, Livesden, comes from a Swedish word. It's pronounced Livsden Utare. And what it means is one who lives life fully and lives it to the extreme. And whenever I was going about naming this brand, I had the values, I had the design principles, I had the designs themselves, and the name was just elusive. It's probably the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur is naming your business. And then secondary, if you make products, naming those products as well, it's just very hard. That's what you're going to put everything behind. And so whenever I was trying to think of the name, I started going down this rabbit hole of words that had no English counterpart. So there is no English word for Livsden Utare. There's an English translation. And when I saw it, it had this idea of an experience-filled life. And whenever I thought about that, it's like, well, if you want to have this experience-filled life, then you want to surround yourself with things that facilitate those experiences. It's not just buying things for the sake of accumulation. And then I brought that down to clothing, and it said, well, if you want to have an experience-filled life, if you want to be a Livsden Utare, then you're going to have clothing that's versatile and lasts a long time and performs well outdoors and does more, so you can spend more time doing what you love and less time worrying about what you're wearing. So it all pretty much crystallized. And the real thing that gets you going when you're an entrepreneur is it wasn't trademarked and it wasn't an LLC. The web domain and the social accounts were available, right? That's when the stars align like that, you just have to go. It really, when I found that word and chose to bring the root out and name it Livesden, that was the day that I incorporated and started going for real.
Yeah, that part's pretty important.
Andrew, I have to speak just because it's funny. I have a tattoo of 30, the coordinates of home on my inner arm too. We're pretty much the same identical spot. So
yeah,
I got that when I moved to South America, and I was working down in Ecuador for some time. And to be honest, never thought I was really going to return. And I had a family issue that brought me back. My father was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and so when I got that tattoo, it's a little bit less funny now that I have the tattoo living here. When I was living in South America and it was home. So
yeah,
that's a coincidence.
That's funny. I've thought about, there's a pulsar map that's on one of the satellites that was put on there to lead an alien race to planet Earth by relation to the sun. And it's really cool looking. I thought about getting that on this arm so that if I ever end up really far away, galaxies away, they can find Earth. And then when they find Earth, they can put me back in Fayetteville.
Awesome. Well, we're about at that time where we'll have to wrap up questions and jump into that trivia, because I know everybody wants to compete for a chance to win an Amazon gift card. But gentlemen, I want to thank each of you for joining us and sharing your story. And, you know, I will, with y'all's permission, I will provide links to y'all's websites and ways to contact y'all for educators who are interested in learning more about y'all's companies and y'all's entrepreneurial journey. So thank y'all very much. And so without any further ado, we will jump into the trivia portion of this event. And entrepreneurs, y'all can't participate in the trivia because it's about y'all's businesses based on the videos that were played. So y'all kind of have an advantage over everybody. So here is, I'm going to show everybody who's on the call. Can everybody see this? It's up and available. This is how you're going to play trivia. So pull out your phone if you have your phone handy, or you can do this on your website too, but you need to separate your browsers from the Zoom and the web page. So go to kahoot.it. No .com, it's just KAHOOT.IT. So everybody do that. Is everybody doing that? Everybody got that going? Good. Okay, we're going to switch back to this. All right, so you should have a page that asks you for a PIN. Correct. That PIN is 4140468, and I'm going to drop that in the chat box. 414.
Can you say the Kahoot name again, please?
Absolutely. It's so on your phone, go to www.kahoot.it. All right, and I'm putting the code in the chat box. It is 4140468. And I'll give everybody a moment to log in and select their names. And I can see names popping up on my screen. We got folks rolling in. All right. Again, it's KAHOOT.IT. Game pin is 4140468. And actually, I will do you one better. I will share my screen so that you can see what this looks like and see the names rolling in.
I think you have to be screen shared for us to participate, like for us to see the question.
Yep, absolutely. I've got the screen up now. I just want to give everybody a chance who wants to play, opportunity to log in. All right, so is everybody who wants to participate logged in? Anybody still figuring it out, let me know, and I will continue to pause. Anybody need more time?
I don't see anything in the message.
So pull up the chat. So go to kahoot.it and then put in the code 4140468. And it'll give you the opportunity to put in your name, and your name will appear on the screen with these other contestants. If you need me to.
I think we're ready to go.
Okay,
probably.
we ready?
Oh, there's someone. Okay.
All right, stop me. I'm about to, on the count of three, I'm gonna start. Stop me if you need one more second. 1, 2, 3. Let's roll. Let me turn the volume up a little bit, even though it's terrible music. All right, so today we're competing for gift cards for Amazon. We'll have a gift card for first, second, and third place winners starting now. Who founded 37 North Expeditions to help people of all skill levels and interests to experience the great outdoors? Correct. Danny Collins. Darlene, you are our leader, followed by Hal and Jenny, K, and WRHSMS. That's a mouthful. Question number 2. Which is a reason that Daniel Collins founded 37 North Expeditions? Combat mental health issues, alternative forms of socialization, conquer your fears, or both A and B. Remember, these are based on the videos we watched. So recall the videos. Both A and B are correct. So let's see where we stand. All right, next question. What equipped Daniel Collins to found 37 North Expeditions? He was bored. He lived in a lot of places, had many experiences. He is a skilled horseman, or he is a counselor and saw the benefits. Correct. He lived in many places and had many experiences. Question number 4, which is not a service offered by 37 North Expeditions? Is it exploration of our Arkansas outdoors, full service guiding, experiences for all skill levels, or sailboat captain certification? Correct. Everybody got that one right. Jenny, you're on fire. Em, you have the lead. What is not the purpose of buddy pegs? Connecting kids with the power of bikes, creating world-famous mountain bikers, teaching a riding curriculum, or making biking fun for the whole family. Correct. They are not trying to make world-famous mountain bikers. That may just be a side effect. All right. True or false? Buddy pegs was Scott Fitzgerald's second business. Do you remember the video? True is correct. All right, got a new leader. True or false? Buddy Pegs wants to be the epicenter of family cycling in Northwest Arkansas with their bike shop and class, and classes. True. True or false? Buddy Pegs is a media company located in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Is it true or is it false? It is false. They are not located in Fayetteville, Arkansas. True or false? Andrew Gibbs Dabney First Lives is a multi-purpose everwear shirt. I think it should be the first product. False. We have a new leader, Darlene. True or false? Lives in Designs offers a guarantee for the life of a garment. Is it true or is it false? True is the correct answer. True or false? Lives in Designs are environmentally friendly outdoor wear designed for the long haul. Y'all were quick with that one. That was too easy. Lives in Designs has been recommended by Gear Junkie, National Geographic, Men's Journal, or both A and C. That is correct, is both A and C. Darlene, you're on fire. Heating up. True or false? Randy Wilburn founded his podcast and newsletter to serve the growing community who are new to Northwest Arkansas. True. Another true and false. Since Randy Wilburn lived in many places, he wanted to share the opportunities and open heart of Northwest Arkansas. Who is correct? I Am Northwest Arkansas offers what? A podcast, a blog, a newsletter, or all of the above? All of the above is the correct answer. If you're planning a family outing and want to experience nature, which Arkansas business would you use? Buffalo Outdoor Center is correct. So it's getting tied at the top three. Which is not available at Buffalo Outdoor Center? Is it swimming pools, cabins, biking trails, or zip lines? Swimming pools is correct. Uh-oh. My screen messed up. Okay, there we go. We're back. Can y'all see the screen still? Okay. At the BOC store, you can purchase guidebooks, deli sandwiches, Buffalo River memorabilia, or all of the above. Y'all didn't even let me finish reading the answers. True or false? If I have an RV, I should consider Ponca and the BOC as an option for experiencing the great outdoors. Is it true or is it false? True is correct. Which entrepreneur founded a company to help people understand the giving and caring spirit of Northwest Arkansas? Was it Andrew Gibbs Savvy? Was it Daniel Collins? Was it Scott Fitzgerald? Or was it Randy Wilburn? Randy Wilburn is correct with I Am Northwest Arkansas. All right, it's going to be a close one. Which entrepreneur was inspired by life in other places? Scott Fitzgerald, Mike Mills, or Daniel Collins? Both A and C are correct, Scott and Daniel. Which entrepreneur is a native Arkansan? Is it Mike Mills? Is it Daniel Collins, Scott Fitzgerald, or Randy Wilburn? Answer was Mike Mills, founder of Buffalo Outdoor Center. Which entrepreneur helps families to learn to bicycle? Scott, Mike, Randy, or Danny? I'm sure they'll all help you if you ask them. Looking for one answer. Scott with Buddy Pegs is correct. Which entrepreneur helps the environment by creating clothing that will last a long time and serve the customers well? Is it Randy, my typo Daniel, Andrew, or Mike? You can tell I didn't have anybody proofread my typing today. Andrew. Second to last question, which entrepreneur has been growing his business model for 30 years, 30 plus years? Is it Danny, Mike, Randy, or Andrew? Buffalo Outdoor Center has a 30-plus year history. And our final question, true or false, the natural resources of Arkansas has inspired many entrepreneurs who provide access to our use of the natural wonders. You better get this one right. Correct answer. All right, let's see who our top 3 are. Number 3 is Darlene. Number 2 is Hal. And number 1, our first place winner, is Jenny. Awesome. Thank y'all so much for participating in that trivia and for participating in this event as a whole. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate our entrepreneurs who spoke. We appreciate each and every one of you who participated and joined. On behalf of Startup Junkie, Bessie B. Moore Center for Economic Education, Economics Arkansas, Junior Achievement, we all are super grateful to have you. If you want to participate, or we encourage you to participate again next week, we're going to do the same thing with a new group of videos and a new group of entrepreneurs next Tuesday, same time, same place. If you aren't registered, please go register. We look forward to round 2 of this event. We'll have more trivia for more prizes. So if you didn't win today, you have another chance next week. And so if Jenny, Hal, and Darlene will please privately message on the chat here in the bottom right-hand corner, if they're still here, please privately message me your email address. I will email you your gift card. So I'll give you all a moment, or you can just respond to the email I sent earlier today with the Zoom link and information. And just a reminder, I will be sending out follow-up information with a link to this video, links to all the videos we watched today, and some informational packets. So again, thank you all very much. Hope to see you next time.
Please reach out to your call.
Oh, Rita, you froze on us.
So I think she just wants you to tell your friends to register so that we can have a great crowd again next week. Thanks to the entrepreneurs. You were fabulous. Caleb, I love those videos. I know a lot of us want to share those. Thanks, Rita.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Caleb, what's the topic next week? What is the, I didn't realize there was a theme this week.
Yeah, absolutely. So next week will be passion projects. And I know that honestly, all entrepreneur endeavors are passion projects, but we've kind of highlighted some next week that will kind of zero in on people who are really going above and beyond and trying to, make a business out of something they really enjoy. Just, they're something they're passionate about, a cause they're passionate about. We have, and it really runs the gamut. So please tune in.
Are they advocacy related?
Well, we have one. So and I'll just give you kind of a rundown. One of our entrepreneurs who will be with us on the call, she's got a bakery here in Northwest Arkansas, and her bakery employs individuals with special needs to provide them training so they can learn job skills. And she also, they bake baked goods for regional restaurants, stores, and things of that nature. We've got another individual who has built a platform to help small businesses deliver meals and kind of showcase local boutiques and things of that nature to kind of promote local and that sort of thing. So just kind of entrepreneurs that are really passionate about their community and doing special things for the people in their community.
That's great. I love that. I have a small leadership class of students, and they're building their own Google sites, and they are required to have a passion project page of something that they're passionate about that they would they could turn into something like that. So I didn't even realize there was another one next week. I will get registered for that.
Perfect. Well, we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Hey, Rita.
Hey.
Bye, guys.
You have your yard decorated, Tessa?
Oh, Tommy Turkey's paddling his canoe.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Y'all have a good night.